Good morning, everybody. I am Cole Spivey. Linda's back there making some phone calls, doing some business stuff. We're starting this beautiful early January 2023 with mail. Let me stop real quick to get the date. I'm going to guess, January 5th. We'll just do it. January 5th. So January 5, 2023. And we're going to start off with mail. I use the cat condo for the mail, probably, that I want to categorize. And then probably stuff that I don't want, and we'll just go to the side. And good to go.
Have the confirmation number on the mobile app.
All right, Kitty. Let's go see what Linda wants. What do you want? Oh. Are you in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's almost 3:15. Can you take the chicken out of the oven and put it in the microwave?
Sure, I'd be glad to. And welcome to the Please Subscribe show. I just found out the actor from the Wonder Years, he's no longer acting. I don't know his name. He got a job at a coffee shop. I really don't know. Something to do with the chicken. There it is. And it's boiling. I just found out there was a vlogger in Maine. He has a thing called Rocky Acres. It's funny because I did a little bit of vlogging in Maine, but I had no idea what I was doing. I was trying to write a book called Escape from Maine, which I did. Hi, Mainers. I got out of there as quickly as possible. Well, I was there the first 2 weeks of the first winter and realized I don't need to be here. And so I had to get a job in a wood mill and work there for about 15 months to save up about $1,500. And I got a credit card job. It was basically selling credit card rates really anywhere in the world. You can just sign up online and just go around anywhere you want and sell credit card rates. And when I got here, I didn't make a dime. And eventually got into the car industry and started selling cars. And then eventually I got into banking. And then I left banking. But I did some vlogging. I moved to Parkman, Maine. Right down the road from a guy named Bert Chavez, who was the owner and creator of Burt Bees. I wonder if that's supposed to be like that. Hang on, let me get my gloves. He was still alive when I was there. He made the book, Escape from Maine, if you ever read it. But I got to interview him in a parking lot at Shaw's, right there in Dover Foxcroft. And then eventually I left, and I came back here. I also was part of a Christian drama group, too. We did Pilgrim's Progress by John Bunyan, and then another one called Amazing Grace about the writer of John Newton, which I played kind of the leads in them and stuff like that. I'm looking at this. I'm going to let you look at this. What do you think? Anyway, about Rocky Acres, it's actually pretty good. He did a special about Bangor Mall, which was 2022. I really don't know how to pick that up, really. Hang on, I have this in my hand, so I'm just going to let it sit there. I don't know if I should turn this off, but turn it off. There we go. And that'll just heat up the kitchen. So yeah, Rocky Acres. I was gonna say Rocky Baker. He did I think on Moxie too. Moxie made my book too, Escape from Maine. I did drink a lot of Moxie. I actually endorse Moxie. I think Moxie is probably one of the best drinks other than Dr. Pepper. And of course, Coca-Cola. But Coca-Cola purchased Moxie in 2018. And according to his video log, he feels that it's not a good drink anymore because Coca-Cola put too much corn syrup in it and things like that. He could be right. But when I drank it, it was owned by Moxie. And it did have kind of a medicine taste. It tasted a little like medicine. I would say Dr. Pepper. Yeah, it tasted like Dr. Pepper and a little bit of like maybe cough syrup. But it did wake you up, and it kind of gave you kind of a vibe, kind of a caffeine feel. And I loved it. Every chance I would get, I'd buy Moxie. I'd go down to Shaw's in Bangor and buy it. You could buy it in like every gas station all through Maine. Actually, to be honest, every gas station I ever stopped at in Maine when I was there, it had Moxie in it. And I'd always either get Moxie or Red Bull, one of the two. And sometimes even after I would work at the wood mill for 8 or 12 hours, especially when I did the night shift. Another really good story by Stephen King from Skeleton Crew. It was called the Graveyard Shift. I always get that mixed up. The Stephen King story is called the Graveyard Shift in Skeleton Crew. I worked the night shift. I didn't see any bats or vampires or anything like that, but certainly felt their presence. But when I do that, I drink some of the Moxie, and it would sometimes help me get through a shift. And then I drink it too in the day when I switch over to the day shift. I'd go over and have like a little pizza at one of the gas stations and drink a little bit of Moxie. I drank as much Moxie as I possibly could, and now I don't drink it at all. Now we can't get Moxie down here. It'd be cool if we could. But I don't really think you should drink that much Moxie. But I didn't get any headaches or anything like that. It always made me feel better. So I really like Moxie. Also, another thing cool about Moxie, too, is a guy wrote about Moxie in May. Or he didn't write about it, he vlogged it. Stephen King writes about Moxie. In 11/22/63, the story about the guy that time travels and tries to prevent JFK from being assassinated in Dallas. And he time travels to a fictional town in Dallas. Actually, Moxie is mentioned in the beginning of that book. If you read the book, he talks about Moxie. But anyway, regardless, I got to get this chicken taken care of. And then soon I will be on the road dropping food at your doorstep. And I'm a runner. I mean, I used to run, especially when I was in Maine. I would actually, I jog around all over the place in Maine, especially from like Dover, Foxcroft, down someplace like going towards, in the direction of Bangor. I never jogged that far. That was like a 45-minute drive. I don't know how many miles that'd be. Probably at least 50 or 60 miles from Dover, Foxcroft to Bangor, or something like that. I don't know the exact mileage. Oops, the alarm's going off. But I used to jog everywhere around town. I mean, I jogged by logging trucks. I think I jogged on Moxie too a few times too. It's basically like Dr. Pepper. It's a soda. But I liked, I like living in Maine. Escape from Maine is not like me, dissing Maine. It's not me saying that Maine was bad. It's just that I didn't feel real safe there. The amount of snow. Now, they were telling me I was shoveling snow shoveling snow. There it is. I was snow shoveling snow out of my driveway, thinking to myself, okay, like, here's a Mainer. I'll just act it out. Man, that was a lot of snow shoveling. It wasn't nothing. That's just a small winter. Oh, that was a small winter? Yeah, it was a mild winter. And that's when I decided I was going to get out. We don't have winters anywhere like that. And then the guy said, don't go down there. No, that's the pet cemetery. You don't want to go down that trail. It leads to the pet cemetery, or whatever the line is. And then I realized I'd probably head back. The Mainers are a little bit different. Let me see if I can get this right here. I'm going to try this right here. Maybe. I'm trying to do it with you in my hands. There we go. Look at that. Ingenuity. See, the one thing, if you do become a vlogger, you will learn to do stuff one-handedly. Even clapping. Like if you were going to clap, you'd clap with one hand. I can do it now. I used to not clap with one hand. But since I have to hold this camera, I've learned to master the one-handed clap. Because my camera crew bailed out on me a long time ago. I started trying to do feature films. But anyway. Oh well, I'm going to pick that up with two hands. Here it is. You can see it sitting on the edge of that. It's pretty hot. Actually, I burned myself, and this is how I take the pain. Right here, you can see. No, I didn't have this on. I was joking. Anyway, check him out. It's called Rocky Acres. Pretty good. I think it deserves some attention. It doesn't have like a whole lot of subscribers yet, but it'd be cool to see this guy get a lot of subscribers and really get into the game. I don't really know if he's a daily vlogger, but he does. He makes a mean documentary about Bangor Mall 2022. Anyway, I got to bring this chicken out and get it ready and do all that stuff. And I'm sorry to the English majors if I messed up on a little bit of the English. I try to keep everything perfect with the English and how I speak and everything. So it sounds very ostentatious and pompous, you know, and everyone's like, wow, that guy's great at media. He should be a journalist. Anyway, here's the cat right here. You okay, kitty? Okay. That's Edmund. I gave him his last name the other day. It's Edmund Cassavetes, also known as Eddie Cassavetes. And I plug this up right here. This goes into the phone right here. Yeah. But weren't you the one that made it?
Yeah.
Okay. Then you're spitting it out. It smells good though.
You can learn to listen and just get with the flow, I guess.
Yeah.
But hopefully, they put me on the sales floor where I'm good at. Be the server, wipe off the counters, bust their tables. I don't know, so this is different.
Yeah, you want to do something.
Yeah.
Usually. Roll away from Florida. Trades coming up. Isn't that exciting? Well, I wouldn't want that guy around my refrigerator. Anyway, this is kind of right next to a walking trail. There was a batting cage back there about, I don't know, a few yards next to a baseball diamond. I'll drop this at your doorstep. Look at this tree right here. Let's have a conversation in the middle of the road. We can include the dog. Ruff, ruff. That's not the greatest meeting place. Happy birthday to those people. I don't think it's the greatest meeting place. We'll have the conversation right in the middle of the street. It doesn't matter. The cars will understand. It's our neighborhood. We do whatever we want. There's another dog right there. Really cool mural. Looks like half of it's painted and half of it is electric light. bunch of poles, I guess. No, yeah. Looks like it's all some kind of thing. Right, always makes me think of Breaking Bad. One of my friends, Charlie Baker, played Skinny Pete in the Breaking Bad series. I think he even, I don't know if he worked with Bob Odenkirk, the Bryan Cranston, all those guys. Anyway, we're gonna pick up some Doc B's and drop it off at your doorstep. I'm in a parking garage. It also makes me think of All the President's Men with Robert Redford and Dustin Hoffman, another good one too. Parking garage. Trying to get to the ground floor. Cool. Oh, there it is. In the basement. There's no basement in the Alamo. Oh, no. Right down this way. Go this way. That's where it is. Thought maybe I was in the basement for a minute. Deer, oh man, they disappeared big time. It's right there. Right there. He's kind of caught in the headlights. He's taken off there. It's the middle of the neighborhood too. It does say caution deer crossing right there. Goes through right there. See their eyes. They can be dangerous. They're going around this way. I'm gonna go back around. But there's a sign that's a homemade sign that says deer crossing. They're probably digging in some trash. They're right there. You can see their eyes. They're somewhat domesticated. Those aren't average deer. Most deers would run by now. Those are almost like domesticated squirrel. They do have razor sharp hooves. Yeah, they're hearing my voice. You can see that one right there. There it goes. I'll show you the deer crossing sign too. We used to do this all the time. Probably around, more like in the summertime. There they go, they're going through that way right here. White-tailed deer. And the white-tailed deer actually stretch all the way up to Canada on the northern eastern side, all the way from Florida to Maine, from Texas to Maine. Then the mule deer, there's another one too. That's probably the buck right there. There's another one. It's a big old one right there. The mule deer are more to the west, but I'll show you the actual sign for the deer crossing. here. It's a homemade sign. They have a deer problem right here. See it right there. Caution deer crossing. Had a really good idea. You know, I just had a really good idea. If okay, like on my screenplay Deep on Ellum, when the protagonist character, Ashley, is leaving a Cure concert, I could use a live version of A Forest by The Cure, where it transitions from the sound of the live recording of The Forest going into him driving with his friends. You can still hear the concert, so it's kind of mixed over, and you're hearing the concert, like either by the radio, like maybe on the radio, or just non-diegetic music. There goes neighbor right there. It's actually really cool because I have this little thing that slides right here. It's really good for like soda and things like that. Splat.